This episode of Mid-Ohio Rock Show is brought to you by Two Cousins Pizza Company. Located at 103 North Main Street in downtown Mansfield, Two Cousins offers the best pizza, subs, and stromboli in the area at family-friendly prices. Check out their website at twocousinspizzaco.com.
And the Phoenix Brewing Company, offering 16 taps of handcrafted beers made on site. Be sure to check out their website at phoenixbrewing.com for their schedule of live entertainment, beer releases, and other events. The Phoenix Brewing Company, resurrecting tradition, one batch at a time.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mid-Ohio Rock Show. I'm Tommy Barnes. Thanks for joining us for another really great episode as we work our way towards episode 100. Pretty cool thing that we started back 7 years ago in November, and I'll tell you, I think by the time this year's over with, we're going to have a real cool surprise for you when we get to our 100th episode. Seen around the country on YouTube and Facebook, you got to check us out sometime. Some great episodes from some great musicians. Talking about musicians, getting a chance to catch up with a guy I met just a little bit ago. Charles Geil is from the Cleveland area. Charles playing downstairs for a, I guess we'll call it blues and brew kind of an evening, right?
That's correct.
Well, I got to say, you're welcome to Mansfield. Thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, man. You know, it's funny as we go through life. Life's kind of weird experiences that happen that really kind of set you on a path. How about you?
That's how this all started. Back in 2014 for me, I do a one-man blues and classic rock show. I play guitar and sing, and I have personally recorded every backing track of every song that I play. So it's a full band experience, but it's just me. And that all started about 3 years ago. And it's a funny thing, but it's really not funny. But it was a near-death experience for me. I was the hospital saved my life. I was about a week away from death, basically. So when I walked out of that hospital, I knew I had a second chance, and that's when it all started for me, the music. And it's just blossomed over the last 3 years. And, you know, this year, 2017, I'll be playing well over 120 shows this year.
That's pretty amazing stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's a blessing.
Obviously, that whole experience you went through caused you to rethink your life and the direction you wanted to go. But was it really easy for you to grab the guitar and get in front of a microphone, get in front of people, and do what you're doing now?
That's another funny question, because in my younger years, I was deathly afraid. I had stage fright, deathly afraid to be in front of a crowd or anything like that. When this started 3 years ago for me, I picked up my guitar, which wasn't a very good one, and I started playing, because I was on light duty for a while. I started playing 3, 4, 5, 6 hours every day, and realized the guitar wasn't so good, so I bought a new one, and I was blessed to have the funds to be able to do that, buy the type of equipment I needed. And it just blossomed. 1 song, 2 songs, 10 songs, start playing out at a benefit, 20 songs. It just started blossoming into this wonderful show that I have now. And like I said, I provide blues music, classic rock, and a few other things you probably wouldn't expect out of a guy like me.
How about something bluesy like Howlin' Wolf?
Most definitely. Howlin' Wolf, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, and my favorite of all time, Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's just such a big influence on my music, my guitar, my tones, that type of thing. absolutely.
You know, I attempt to play guitar, and I had a Stratocaster for a lot of years. Does that Strat of yours allow you to get into the moment with a particular song you're playing at that time?
Most definitely. The Stratocaster that I'm playing now is actually a handmade guitar right here in Cleveland, Ohio. His name is Attila, and you can look him up on the web or Facebook. He's an awesome guitar builder. Every single piece of that guitar is handmade right here in Cleveland, except the tuners and the bridge.
That's pretty amazing.
It's a
stuff.
solid guitar. Even the pickups are made here.
Gonna take a freight train down at the station. I don't care where it goes. Gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain low. Gonna jump off, nobody's gonna know. Can't you see? Lord, can't you see what that woman she been doing to me? Can't you see? Can't you see what that woman she been doing to me?
Yeah, you had mentioned the blues, and that is one of the things that I enjoy immensely, is going to blues shows really all over the state of Ohio. My wife and I a lot of times will go even down to Tampa, to the Tampa Bay Blues Fest. I love going down to Columbus to blues shows. Granville's coming up, one of those that I get a chance to go to. You know, we could talk blues all day long, but I also know that one of your strengths is really the rock side of things. Whether we're talking Pearl Jam, whether we're talking ZZ Top, or any of the other maybe mainstays of the Rock Hall of Fame, if you will.
Most definitely. And 99% of the music I play are Rock Hall inductees. So that's the one thing. But even the rock, you know, the blues are, it's the essence of rock and roll anyway.
Right.
So anything I play truly has the blues in it. It's just amazing. Some people don't even realize, like a guy like Prince, he was one of the best blues guitarists on this earth, but people don't realize that. They associate him with pop music, but he really was.
Well, when I think about old
artist.
Prince videos, he had that yellow guitar, and he was just ripping on that thing. You know, my wife and I actually were just down in Nashville, and one of the things I noticed about some of these guys that have been in the Opry for years and years and years is the subtle way they play that guitar. I mean, it's almost like they're caressing a baby. It's not this, you know, bam, bam, bam. There's a time and a place to do that, but there's a time and a place to be very subtle and very quiet with that guitar, isn't there?
Yeah, there sure is. And Stevie Ray Vaughan was one of the masters of what you just said. He could slam on the guitar and make it wail and scream and howl, but some of his most beautiful guitar playing is such delicate, soft notes and clicks on a string with the pick. It's beautiful.
You know, I would also, I having spent so many years in radio, I guess I call it a love affair with a microphone. You get somebody like Paul Rodgers from Bad Company or Aretha Franklin. You know, when they want to get in your ear, they're very, very close to that microphone. But when they got something to say, they are backed off of it and they are telling you what's on their mind, aren't they?
That's correct. Yep.
Do you feel you do the same thing when you're doing particular songs, and maybe the softer side of something you do versus getting into something else?
I do, and I've had to learn through trial and error. Just like everything that I do up on stage, everything that you see in my show, it's been a lot of trial and error. It's been a lot of production, recording, and just all-out practice. Because to do the one-man show, you need to be really tight, tighter than you would with a band.
Right.
Because
with a band, every song should be, even though you may do the same song every night that song should be just a little bit different. You get a look in somebody's eye,
right.
The bass player, the drummer, the keyboard player, and you give them their moment to do what they do, right?
And that's what I try to do with my guitar and my voice. every night I try to do those little things just a little bit different. And I've had people approach me after the show or during a break or something and said that, hey, I've seen you a couple times now, and you played that one song, and it was just a little bit different tonight, but it was really cool.
So it's all about emotion.
Yeah,
it's all what's in your heart, isn't it?
It certainly is.
So I have kind of a question. I hope it's not terribly personal, but it's Charles Geil rather, and his Ghost Band. So I think about the ghost aspect of it, and I think, okay, everything's pre-recorded. That's the ghost aspect of it. But then I also think about your life experiences and what you went through 3 days ago. Maybe was it the ghost, the specter of what was in front of you that caused you to name the band that way, or?
It's a little bit of both.
Is it really? Okay.
It truly is, because when I look back, I had a conversation with my wife Cherie a couple months ago about it. When I look back at those months that I was in the room in our house 5-6 hours a day just with that guitar, and then building and putting songs together, when I look back on that now, I cannot remember doing a lot of those things. It's like it was
an apparition,
something out of this world, not me. Total blessing. So I don't know where all that came from, but that's how it all started, and it's giving me goosebumps just talking about it. It's a really cool thing, and when I tell people I've only been doing this for 3 years, they generally don't believe it.
Yeah, I hope I'm not trampling on your emotions too much, but
No.
when I was trying to interpret why you did what you did, that was really one of the first things that went through my mind. It was retrospective of the fact that you've done all the other musicianship work, but yet it's reflective of what you went through.
Right. And so the Ghost Band, it was both things, like you said. But the very first song that my wife ever heard me sing was Texas Flood by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, yeah.
When she came into that room, she said, "Is that the song you're going to learn?" And I said, "No, Cherie, that was me." And she goes, "No, And I go, "One moment." And I redid the song. And when I did, I got chills up and down. She started bawling her eyes out. She goes, "How come you didn't tell me you could sing?" And I said, "I didn't know." And it's moments like that when I feel like I'm getting help somewhere out of this world. Who knows? Is it God? Is it Stevie Ray Vaughan? I don't know. But it sure feels like something like that.
Yeah, well,
It really does.
That is truly fascinating. As far as places that you get a chance to play on a somewhat regular basis, I know you probably play Cleveland, but it seems like I saw that maybe you're in Worcester and some other communities, not just where you're from, correct?
Most definitely. Cherie, my wife, her nickname is Sharon Osbourne because she is the queen of booking.
Well, let me tell you, all the years I was on radio, I got her concert tickets, and there was a lot of Ozfest shows that I knew I had to go through Sharon to get approval to get those tickets for our listeners. So
Yep.
I get that.
So yeah, we play a lot of different places, especially like you mentioned Worcester. We play at a great place called Muddy's, and I've been playing there once a month for almost 2 years now. So that was a great feeling. I played there the one time before we left. They booked me for a couple more months, and then before the couple months was over, they booked me for the whole year. And like this year coming up, I'll be there once a month again in 2018. And I have several places around the area in Strongsville, Tribs in Strongsville, the John Christ Winery, the Breakwall in Avon Lake. They all have me monthly because they appreciate the show, and it's just a really good feeling.
Well, that
It
sounds really
is.
awesome. Well, I got to tell you, folks, you got to check out his website. Just go to charlesgeil.com, find out more information about where he's playing. I personally can't wait to get downstairs and see you start your show. It's going to be a blast, and really, truly appreciate your time and your openness about some of the questions I asked you and hanging out with us for Rock Show.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I really do appreciate it. And come out and see a show sometime. Like he said, charlesgeil.com or Charles Geil and his Ghost Band on Facebook.
Absolutely. And, considering we're in Mansfield, Ohio, we've got a pretty good reputation of ghosts in this area.
Yes.
So I think you fit in pretty well,
Yeah, I
to
think
be
I
honest
will.
with you. Hey, I'm Tommy Barnes. Thanks again for joining us for the Mid-Ohio Rock Show. We're getting closer to episode 100 coming up a little bit later this year. We appreciate you joining us on Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to see you soon. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Gypsy woman told my mother before I was born, you got a boy child coming. He's gonna be a son of a gun. He's gonna make pretty women's jump and shout. Then the whole will know what it's all about. But you know I'm him. I'm your hoochie coochie man. Everybody knows I'm him. I'm your hoochie coochie man. Everybody knows I'm him. Got a black cat bone. Got a mojo too. Got the Johnny Company. I'm gonna mess with you. Gonna make you girls leave me by the hand. Then the whole will know I'm your hoochie coochie man. Everybody knows I'm here. I'm your hoochie coochie man. Everybody knows I'm here. On the 7th hour, on the 7th day, on the 7th month, 7 doctors said he's born for good luck, and that you'll see. I got $700, and don't you mess with me. Everybody knows I'm here. I'm your hoochie coochie man.